With the Wii U finally out and Nintendo's packed-in game being popular among owners, with a computer named Monita showing you around, assisting you on how things work and play, with occasionally being silly. Let's see how this compilation of games hold up and how it uses the gamepad's unique features. It's sort of hard to explain Nintendo Land's gameplay, since it's literally 12 games in one, making the gameplay vary between each one. But we'll focus on some of these 12 games since there are so many, and we don't want this review going over 30 minutes. So we're focusing on the most popular of the bunch: Donkey Kong Crash Course, Pikmin Adventure, Metroid Blast, Balloon Trip Breeze, Takamaru's Ninja Castle, and The Legend of Zelda Battle Quest. So let's get started. Donkey Kong Crash Course is the most addicting and rage-inducing game on Nintendo Land. Tilting the gamepad left or right moves your character in those directions. You have to really be careful how much you tilt. The more you tilt, the faster you go, which isn't recommended. Soon, buttons come into play to activate lifts, gyros, and tracks. It gets really challenging since the course is very tricky, and since you're very fragile. You have lives, 5 in fact, but you'll find yourself questioning if you ever had any when the game over screen seems to appear after only like 2 seconds into the gameplay. If you're a Pikmin fan, you'll love this game since, well, it plays like Pikmin in a way. The gamepad user plays as Olimar and commands the Pikmin. You don't collect things like in the main games. Instead, you kind of fight your way through enemies, gather nectar to level up, and get to the goal, sometimes facing a boss. And about leveling up, you gather nectar to level up. The more you level up, the more Pikmin you have to command. The gameplay is fun, but sometimes it can feel like you've been there, done that in some of the missions. It helps when playing with friends, which you need Wiimotes and nunchucks for. They play as Pikmin and have the same abilities as them. They can just do their own thing though. You can also use the touchscreen on the gamepad to attack, move, and jump. Metroid Blast, in my opinion, is the best game in the bunch. When using the gamepad, players take control of Samus's ship. You aim with the gamepad and turn with the right analog stick. It's pretty complex at first, but after a few times played, it becomes second nature. You can even invite friends to play it along, as long as you have at least one Wiimote and nunchuck. They take control of Samus on foot. The controls work very well and are very simplistic. There's power-ups thrown in the mix to change up the gameplay. The actual gameplay mostly consists of you defeating waves of enemies, but missions change up every now and then where you have to collect icons in a certain amount of time or keeping citizens safe from enemies. Alone, the game is good. Together with a group of friends, the game is fantastic fun. Balloon Trip Breeze is a really fun, underrated game. Using the gamepad touchscreen, you use the stylus to blow gusts of winds by stroking the screen to keep yourself afloat through obstacles and enemy attacks. Sounds simple enough, but it's hard. On top of dodging obstacles, spikes, and enemies, you have to fight the weather through day and night. You'll get storms that impair your vision with clouds and rain. Windy days will blow you across the screen if you don't fight it with your own gust of wind. It gets really stressful, but it's all great fun. Takamaru's Ninja Castle is another simplistic game that's also challenging and great fun. This time you turn the gamepad sideways and slide your hand to launch throwing stars against cardboard ninjas. Simple, right? Well, these cardboard ninjas also throw bombs and their own throwing stars at you. It gets hard fast, but fortunately, you also have Nimpo attacks. These allow you to throw bombs and unleash other special attacks by drawing a simple shape on the gamepad, like a circle. Oh yeah, you only get one life, and it's game over, all the more making this game a huge challenge. Of all the games, The Legend of Zelda Battle Quest seems to be my least favorite. Sure, it can be fun, but that's only lasts for so long. When using the gamepad, you're restricted to only shooting arrows, using the gamepad to aim just like in Metroid Blast. You are also on rails, so your character moves for you, with you having no control. With friends who use Wiimote, they take control of the sword, which they can use to stab and slash enemies, but again, they are too on rails. Like I said, it gets fun, but then you drop into boredom really fast, especially when the missions get repetitive. Gameplay is great, but it can get frustrating, so it always helps when you can take out your frustration or joy on Miiverse, which Nintendo Land gladly allows you to do. As far as Nintendo Land looks, it certainly doesn't push the Wii U's hardware. Still, though simple, the game looks very crisp and colorful with its toy-like graphics, with the mini-games staying true to the look of their individual games, but still having Nintendo Land's own take on them. Looking upon the Nintendo Land Plaza really makes you feel like you're in an amusement park, with its bright and whimsical appeal. Especially when people in your plaza seems more alive since you can see their Miiverse posts about games they played and their stats. Nintendo Land's soundtrack is simply amazing, rivaling the great remixes of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Hearing classic themes remixed with Nintendo Land's lighthearted and sometimes joyful tone to them is simply wondrous to your ears, and being able to play them as your default music on the plaza is only more reason to love it. When it comes to collectibles and achieves, Nintendo Land has lots. Every game has a certain amount of stamps to collect. You earn these by doing certain tasks. By doing this, you can earn different medals such as platinum, gold, silver, and bronze. After completing them all, you receive a star on the attraction's banner, and also gloat about it on Miiverse. While playing games, you also acquire coins, which you can use on a fun coin toss game to earn prizes, from music to interactive dioramas, over 100 in all, greatly amplifying its replay value. Nintendo Land is one of the best minigame compilations on the Wii U so far. It has some hiccups in its games, but they're overall fun to play. With its incredible amount of collectibles and replay value, it'll have you and your friends coming back for a while. Still, not having any online multiplayer function makes you wonder just what Nintendo was thinking, and this is a ginormous missed opportunity. Sorry for not reviewing all the games, but I highly recommend you playing them with a group of friends. Nintendo Land gets a 8.9 out of 10.